Guys, I'm out here this morning and it's cold in the southern United States, but I've got the AT Max, the Vortex, and the Ace Apex out here this morning. And we're taking a deep dive into the Vortex, and I want to make a little disclaimer right here real quick. If you're looking for hunting videos with the Vortex, this is not what you're going to get on my channel. This is a new release, and we're going to shake this down with head-to-head comparisons and to see if we can find any bugs or shortcomings in the software that may need to be updated. This has become the normal mode of operation for detector releases over the years on my channel. We've done it with Mind Lab. We found the iron thing with the Manicore. Deus 2, different things with it, Nocta Legend, Nocta Triple Score, things were found with it, and the manufacturers corrected those with updates. Now we're going through that process with the Garrett Vortex, and I will be taking it to the beach to see what I can find there. So I am looking for glitches, I'm looking for shortcomings, and I'm also looking for pros. And I will show all of them in hopes that people will be informed and that the manufacturer will be informed on what they may need to do on future updates for this machine to improve it. So, yes, I have taken the Vortex out and hunted with it, but I had a glitch. I uploaded the video or processed the video and edited it onto my computer, was uploading it to YouTube and started working on another video, and when I uploaded the footage off of my cameras, which are big giant files, it filled up my memory, so I hit the delete memory and it erased my hunting video with the Vortex. And here's the deal. Nothing but positive things to say. I went to an iron-loaded site. It was an late 1800s, early 1900s home site. Got a lot of modern clad, a lot of traffic, you know, people going around there these days. And so things get dropped. I dug a lot of coins, probably about 6 coins, and I had hunted there and tested other machines there before. It handled the iron, and the goal of that was to see where I needed to set my iron boundary to not have a bunch of nail falsing. Bottle caps were off, so the thing knocked on coins at 4 to 6 inches. The IDs were good. It did great, but that is not what we're doing here today. Today we're going to look at a target and possibly a couple of more targets, and silver coins there's something going on here that I need to show, and I hope that Garrett looks at it, updates the machine, and corrects it. And like I said, this has become the normal mode of operation over the last few years. It seems like these companies with these updatable detectors release them, they have glitches or shortcomings, they rush, pop an update, and we get an improved machine. And that is the goal of my channel, especially on new releases. I've got a hunting video coming up, but it's not with the Vortex. I love to metal detect, but on this, I am a tester. Priority number one is I am shaking this detector down. I'm putting it head to heads. We're looking for behaviors, bugs, etc. And we will show the pros. Here's a pro. This detector unmasks better than any Garrett product out there. But it doesn't ID on silver coins at depth as good as these two. And I'm going to show you what's going on here. And look right here. What does Garrett recommend in their quick start guide? They recommend 1 to 2 inch air gap on the coil, and I'm going to show you some stuff, and this is data points for them and it's data points for you. I would love to work with them and help them with the detector as I have with Mind Lab, XP, and Nocta. I don't do NDAs, I do handshake agreements. You know, if they don't want it shared, I won't share it. You guys know how I work. Garrett Vortex, let's look at this. So this is a 12-inch silver half, and I don't know, I've been running my mouth for a long time now, so we'll see how it goes. I may show it on a couple of other targets. Actually, I have another video up, so we may just show it on this because it's very pronounced, and actually it's very pronounced over here too. We may do a 9-inch barber dime, 12-inch silver half. So look at this right here. You guys, I got 3 cameras going, one for coil height, one for screen. Let me show you the settings. We got the sensitivity on 7. Nope, we're not gonna run all the machines wide open. I run all Garrett products 1 bar from wide open. There's no other company that says I have to run their metal detectors with wide open sensitivities. There was a comment that was pointed out to me by TN Sharpshooter over on one of the forums, and the guy was talking about the screen going blank and not running it wide open. We're going to run it one bar down, just like we do all the other detectors. We don't run them wide open either, but let's look at this. Multi-frequency. You guys see the settings, and you ask why I run the iron boundary at 1. Let me go ahead and clear that up, because that is a actual usable huntable setting in my area. 0, false is too much. So iron boundary 1, and it comes from the factory default of 2. So let's look at this target right here. Notice the coil height? That is less than an inch. I am skimming. Right there, I'm dragging. Notice the ID. Now let me kick over into a single frequency and show you what all the fuss is about. Let me get up here to frequency. I ain't got my glasses on, so I should just put them on, but I'm getting old and, you know, I can't see as good as I used to could. So let's just shoot 5 kilohertz here. Machine seems pretty stable. Everything looks good. And you see the ID. Now, for time constraints, I'm not going to go through every single frequency. I have another video on this target from last night. I went through all singles, and they do practically the same thing as 5 kilohertz. The ID comes up in the 80s. We see the multi going down into the 60s and dropping to 18. So we've got, what, a 20-something point scale difference on a deep silver coin here. So if you were cherry picking with the Vortex, 1, check the coil height, you would either not get an ID, or if you scrub it, wait a minute, I'm in 5 kilohertz. Let me go back to multi. If you were in multi and you were cherry picking, that is a lower ID than a zinc penny. So if you were chasing silver coins, I can confidently say, and you were using the ID on the Vortex, you would not dig that, because silver coins come up in the 80s. You know, I don't know what a silver dime is, but I know a zinc is at 75. So a 61 or 65 is not a silver coin on this machine, or like a silver dime, a silver quarter, or silver half dollar, or silver dollar. Now, there is a report on my channel comment that another person who has a Vortex tested this on big silvers indoors, air testing it, and saw the same thing. Now, well, what is all the fuss about? Well, the fuss is this. Let me break out the Garrett Ace Apex. Remember, the Garrett manual says an inch, you know, and I know that this is at the edge of detection depth on this coin, but I've got a 9-inch barber, and I got some other targets over there, and the Apex just passes it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So, you know, that is a data point for you guys. If you're using the Vortex and you're coin hunting with it, it is a data point that you could look and maybe switch to single till Garrett looks at it, and maybe Garrett will come out with an update. I'd be more than willing to try the update in my test garden here to see if it improves and show the improvement. You guys have seen me do that with Nocta products. Show a fault, so I'm gonna have to. Got a heater going on here. And this right here is where a noise cancel comes in real handy. But, I mean, I just checked the manual selection, but I would like to have a button to hit a noise cancel on that and let it auto select. Let's go back. Let's just see what the Vortex does with the EMI. Well, I wonder if that's the question. The Vortex is getting ate up with EMI. Another data point here. Let's look here. Look at the coil height. Look at the ID. Look at the coil height. Look how much deeper this machine is in IDing correctly than the Vortex on that silver half. Now I'm going to pop the Vortex right back out. You guys see that? I'm not even going to put it in single. Well, I can, but it does the same thing in single. So 5 kilohertz. So we see that the Vortex does not do that, but we see that coil height on this machine. Will the, I guess the question would be, let's go through that machine and change the settings on it as far as the channel. Because the channel is definitely getting affected. Here's a battery. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know what I'm getting on the... Multi-frequency. Look at the coil height. Look at that coil height. I never tested the Apex after Garrett did the update on it, and it actually gained a lot of depth. When I first tested the Apex when it was new, before they put the update on it, it didn't have that much depth in my test garden. So that is hopeful that Garrett can put the Vortex. Look at the coil height here on the Vortex. Let's do a channel selection here. Let's go down. See what I'm doing here? Come on. Look at the coil height. A little bit of iron there. It must be lowering the frequency. Okay, now I'm going to go out and I'm going to lower the coil. Watch. Well, let me make sure what frequency I'm in here. This may be something too. Okay, so did it just start IDing correctly? Multi-frequency. Let's see. So let's go back and let's go down to, wait a minute. So we just found a data point. You see where I'm going with this? We checked the channels on the Apex. We seen the ID change. But see, we can't hear anything on the Vortex. See what I'm saying? Watch this. Hold on just a minute. We're not going to test any more targets. We're going to explore this because this is a data point. There's no audible noise. Let's look at the ID. So what is this? There's no noise coming out of the machine. Look, let me cut this mic on. So how do I know where to set my... You see where I'm going with this? We've got automatic noise cancels where the machine selects it on other brands. Look at the ID, coil height. It hits it, but no ID. Let's go and cycle back down to 1. I'm going to walk off camera and I'm going to check this dime and see if it makes a difference on it. So I'll show you the screen. This is a 9-inch Barber dime. Let's cycle it back up. Lift it a little bit. Gone. Let's look at this one right here from last night. 67, 71. Let's cycle it back down. Okay, so that's a data point. If you're running the Vortex, with what I'm showing here, it looks like the lower frequency shift is making the ID come in better. The higher frequency shift is raised. Let's just try it at 4. It's kind of confused. You see that? Let's try it at 5. And this is all about data, not entertainment. It's about learning. It's about digging into the machine for the manufacturer and the consumer. We just learned something. If you're going to take this thing out and you're going to hunt deep silver coins and cherry pick, apparently the lower frequency shift is making the ID come in better. Okay, so that's going up. Let's go 6. Let's go 7. So we see frequency shift changing the ability to hit this target. Let's look at no ID. Let's go back down to 1. Let's go back down to 3. Let's go back down to 1. But it changed. You guys know that? I was getting, wait a minute, that's 1. Let's go back to, is the screen looking funny or is that my eyes, man? I can't tell this morning. My sugar may be up. So we're going from a 65 to a 78 something. So it is changing. Well, let's see if that happens. Crazy. But you see that the Vortex does not have any audible EMI. So how do I know where to set the channel at on it? Well, this is all, you know, hey, you guys are getting to go through things here that I do for manufacturers. I know it's not that exciting, but it is data points. Let's look at the AT Max ID. Look at the coil height on the AT Max. AT Max actually has the best ID on that coin out of all 3 Garrett machines. Well, I don't know what to make of that. So the frequency shift is changing the ID scale on the Vortex. Or is it EMI? Well, I think it's the frequency shift. And here's the thing. We know on the Deus 2, or I do from testing the Deus 2, when I had some beta versions, it actually showed us what frequency it run, and it changes the scale. You know, I'm not going to say what scale it changes, but it does change the frequency of the multi-frequency that it's running when you shift it. So how far is the Vortex shifting from a channel of 8 to a channel of 1? This is a question, and it looks like it's changing because it's changing the ID. And maybe that's frequency driven, maybe it's silent EMI. as Tom Dankowski talked about, because we can't hear it on that. But those are some data points. You guys that have the Vortex, check this stuff. Now, I don't really see that on some of the mid to low conductors, nickels at depth, but it's on silver coins, dimes, quarters, half dollars, reals at 9 inches or so over there. You guys see it. You raise the coil, you get the air gap that Garrett recommends, and the ID goes away. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to be testing the Vortex today. I'm off of work and probably have a couple of videos up today. Thanks for watching.